YouTube, what it do? It's your guy CJ back with another video, back with another episode of the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel. So today, man, I want to have a conversation. Not even a conversation, man. I want to have a therapy session today, right? And the therapy session that I want to have, I want to offer you all some encouragement, all right? And the encouragement that I want to offer you is going to be for anyone who's going through depression, anyone who may be experiencing a great deal of anxiety, anyone who may be at a state right now where they really are just day to day or moment to moment even, right? And they may feel like, or you may feel like, I'm getting tired. You may feel like you're exhausted from always having to, endure or overcome or, fight through things that you may feel like a lot of people don't have to deal with, I want to tell you that my heart goes out to you. I want to tell you that, I acknowledge you. I want to tell you that I see you. All right? And I really want you to know that everything that you're going through right now is all part of the process. Everything that you're dealing with right now, everything that you are experiencing is actually what is supposed to happen. This is part of your life's novel, all right? This is part of your story. I know it can be excruciating. I know it can be really painful. I know a lot of days you just want to just break down and cry. And I'm here to tell you, take no shame in that, okay? There's nothing wrong with, having emotions and being able to, express how you feeling sometimes. If you got to cry, if you have to break down and just shed some tears, that does not mean that you're weak, right? It means that you're human, man. And I'm going to tell you this too. We're going through a time in the world right now. This isn't a thing based upon just where you live. This isn't just a Western thing. This is something that people are experiencing in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia. If there's any people, Eskimos in Antarctica, they're going through the same thing, right? And what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a transformation of the universe. There's a lot of things that are taking place right now, and because we're going through it real time, we can't always see it. It's like when you're in a toxic relationship, right? And you'll have friends or people close to your family who will tell you about the situation that you're in. But sometimes you're so close to something, it's easy to become emotional about it, but it's also easy to not be able to see what it really is. And I think that's what we're dealing with in 2025, We're dealing with a lot of civil and social unrest. The world economies are just doing a thing right now to where people are literally being priced out of life, And that's not hyperbole. That's not me just saying something for shock value. People are being priced out of life. Companies are just laying people off at record numbers. The cost to just exist, right? Forget enjoying life. Forget, being able to afford a leisure, but just being able to just afford basic life, right? It's becoming something that it's almost a privilege to be able to just, afford to do things besides pay for shelter, utilities, groceries, gas, the things you need, right? And people are really under more pressure in today's time than we could honestly say maybe the Great Depression, right? In terms of the U.S., right? So when you add up all of the things that seem to be working against you in today's time, it makes sense why, people are stressed out and people are depressed, or people, the self-deletion rates in this country are spiking. More and more people are actually checking out, and it's a sad thing. It's an unfortunate thing, and it's something that I wish people in power spent more time addressing, more so than they did the bickering back and forth, the aisles in Congress about things that really don't matter, So there's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot that will take away from any modicum of joy, of like happiness, of fulfillment, I'll say, But I want to encourage you all to know that, again, this is just a season. This is just a chapter. This is not the end of your book. This is not the end of your story. This is not the final period of your life, right? This is just a chapter, right? And the important thing about knowing that this is just a chapter is that you come to the realization that everything that you're dealing with that's bothering you, that's bringing you pain and like agony and turmoil and making you feel like you're defeated, all of that will subside, and it will be replaced with purpose, with joy, with love, with admiration, with peace, with comfort, with solitude. It's going to be replaced by all those things, right? But unfortunately, you have to be around to get to it, So this isn't a video to sugarcoat or tell you that, everything is rainbow and sprinkles and you're going to wake up one day and everything is going to be perfect. Because if I told you that, I would be lying to you. And that's one thing I never do on my YouTube channel. I don't do it in my blogs when I write. I don't do it on my podcast when I record, right? I'm going to always tell you the truth, whether it's a popular truth, whether it's an unpopular truth, whether it makes you feel comfortable, whether it makes you feel uncomfortable. I'm always going to tell you the truth, right? So we will always come to know trials and tribulations. It's just part of life. Even when things are quote unquote going good and you're in your winning season, there's always going to be things that pop up that are not favorable, things that do not make you feel good. So there will never be a perfect experience for you in this life as far as, everything in your life going right or everything in your life being good or going good, right? There's always going to be something. Now, it doesn't always have to be the way it feels right now, where it feels like everything is going wrong and it feels like, the ground is always crumbling from underneath you. And I always feel as if, like you're waiting for the next shoe to drop, behind on this bill, late on that promise, right? There are people out here right now who have been laid off from their job for 4 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and their unemployment has ran out or getting ready to, and they don't have a plan B. They don't have anything lined up right now. So if they don't have, you got to think about someone in that situation, right? Now, some people are blessed, and I say blessed with all caps. Some people are blessed to have, family or friends that they can rely on when times get tough or times get hard. But I'm here to tell you, man, everybody was not blessed with a good family or a solid family or a family that loves them or will support them, right? And I know that because I don't come from the best family. I don't come from a family to where I was ever able to rely on anyone in my family. I will be 36 next month. Since 16 years of age, I've lived on my own, and I've had to always take care of myself, right? So I don't come from a family to where, like, you know, if something ever happened, God forbid, or where, like, I wasn't able to sustain, I don't have a family I can just call up and be like, hey, can I come crash with you guys for a little bit? Or, you know, I don't have that. So if you have that, even though it may seem like, you know, it may not be like a sexy thing to do, as far as, you know, sometimes you let your pride or your ego get in the way, and, you know, you want to have your own, like, space and everything, but if it all just fell down and you have a family group or a friend group that you can rely on, then you're blessed, man, because at least you have that, you know what I mean? So these roads are pretty bumpy out here in Dallas, man. So, hey, I apologize for all the shaking and everything. But, yeah, man, it will get better. It will improve. But I want anyone who is listening still to the sound of my voice, don't give up. That's the main thing I want to nail home in this video. Do not give up. I know sometimes, and I speak personally, transparently, I know sometimes when I'm going through you know, periods or like bouts of struggle and adversity, right, my mind will go to these dark places, right, and it'll go to these dark and cold and lonely places that normally my mind never visits. But sometimes, you know, the enemy has a way of dragging you down to lower frequencies and vibrations when things aren't going right in your life, because the enemy wants you to believe that your defeat or your temporary stumble is permanent, right? That's what the devil or the enemy, that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that, you know, this down season that you're going through is something that is forever, right? But I'm here to tell you that the devil is always a liar. The devil will never be nothing more than a liar. And that's not true. This temporary season of defeat, of depression, of anxiety, is not a permanent thing. It will subside. It will go away. But it only subsides and go away if you choose life, if you choose to continue, if you choose to fight, if you choose to continue to thrive and persevere through it. That's what you have to do. And here's the thing that no one ever talks about. You have to do it every day. Every day you got to choose life, man. Because the alternative is so easy to choose, man. Even though it's a hard decision to make, because life is such a precious thing, right? So when I read, like, you know, studies and reports about people who self-delete, I don't look at that as like, oh, they took the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to get to a point in your life to where you believe the enemy and you believe the devil so much that you believe, you know what, man? This is never going to get better. This is never going to improve. And this is just who I am, and this is just where I am, where I'm at. When you internalize that and you believe that, that's a spot that I would not wish on my worst enemy. But I want you to please continue to fight. And I'm going to give you guys another nugget here, right? I'm going to give you a whole another gem, right? The only real life that exists, and I really want you to hone in on this. If you don't get anything else from what I said in this episode, I want you to listen to this. The only real life you have is the present. The only real life you have in this world is the present, the right now. And let me explain what I mean when I say that, right? Because I know that sounds crazy. Like, oh man, CJ, I've been alive 30, 40, 50, 60 years. What you mean this right now is the only real life? When I say this is the only real life you got, what I mean is the past has already gone. There's nothing you can do about the past. The past is what it is, and it will always be what it is. This time tomorrow, whatever you did today will be finished. Nothing you can do tomorrow to change. There's nothing that you can do tomorrow that can change anything of today. So the past is not real life. The past has already happened. The past is gone. You can't spend you can't spend like your mental real estate worried about the past. The past is out of here. Also, another figment of your imagination that's good to think about, it's good to plan for, but I'm here to tell you, and this is gonna shock a lot of you, the future doesn't exist. We live in a world and we serve a creator that is so merciful, right? That is so loving, that is so giving, that is so forgiving, right? That he blesses us with the opportunity to get closer to his word, to his image, 24 hours at a time. But tomorrow is never promised. Tomorrow may never occur. Tomorrow is a fallacy. It may never happen. You know? And I'm not saying that to tell you guys, you know, you should not prepare or things like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's good to have goals. It's good to be like, you know, ambitious about life and, you know, things you want to achieve and accomplish. Like, please continue to have goals and have dreams and stuff, but when you fixate and you spend a lot of time worrying about how the future is going to look, when you're taken away from your peace and your mental health and your serenity, worrying about the next 10 years, next 20, man, look, this shit can all end tomorrow, bro. It could end tonight. There's not a guarantee wherever you are listening to this episode, and God forbid, but there's not a guarantee that you're going to make it home. There's not a guarantee I'm going to make it home, right? You pray for life. You hope for a long and fruitful life, you know. But tomorrow's not promised, man. And because tomorrow is not promised, I look at it at this point in life, because I used to be a guy who was a planner, and, you know, I still plan and set goals for myself, but I used to look at the world from like, I can't wait till I get to this point, or I can't wait till this happen, or I can't wait till, like, you know, when I get to this age, or when I get to this tax bracket, or when I get to this. And everything in my life that gave me joy was always something that was like 2, 3, 5, 10 years ahead. The curse in doing that is that you never get to cherish and appreciate the only real life you have. And I will die on the hill of believing the only real life you have is right now. What happened to you 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I can empathize with you. I can give you support and like love and compassion, but it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's gone, bro. It's out of here. You are in a spot right now where you want things to get better. You pray things improve, and you like, man, you know, 5 years from now, my life is going to be, it may be, or it may not be, but the reality is the only real life you have is today, because 5 or 10 years from now may not happen. And there's a lot of reasons, if you're paying attention to like the geopolitical, you know, climate of the world right now, right? And I'm not saying this for fear mongering or telling you guys to be afraid or be scared, but there's so much going on in the world right now, regardless of what party you subscribe to. There's so much going on right now, man, that, hey, 5, 10, 20 years from now, hey, that may not be a reality for everyone. But whether or not it is, you don't need to put all your value and your time worrying and stressing about something that has not happened yet. You know, that's how you go crazy. That's how you That's how you see people like in their 20s with grays and stuff. You know, some of it is like genetic, but a lot of it is just unnecessary stress. And it's stress about things that have either already happened and occurred, or worrying about things that has not happened and may never, ever really occur, right? So you have to make it your life's mission, man. If you can, if you're listening to this video still, I pray for you. I wish on to you to always try to operate from a space of appreciating and valuing right now, because at the end of the day, that's the only life you have. That's the only reality that exists. The only true reality you have is right now. Whatever day it is, whatever time it is, whatever month it is, whatever year it is, that's your reality. That's your present. And they always call it a present because the present is a gift. But so many times people don't appreciate the gift because they worried about, you know, the past, or they worried about the future. Fuck the past. Good, bad, or indifferent. The past don't mean shit. And the future, you may never get to it. I pray that you do. I hope that you do. I pray that I do. I hope that I do. In Jesus' name, right? But we may never get to it. And if you don't get to it, that doesn't mean that right now you have the time or the bandwidth or the space to disrespect the right now. And that's all you're doing when you're worried about, you know, what happened back in the day, or what I did wrong in this relationship 5 years ago or 2 years ago, or you worried about that job that let you go. F that job. Forget them people, man. Them people did what was best for them in that moment, and you have to do what's best for you in every moment you have, and that's the present. That's right now. You owe it to yourself to be the best version of you that you can possibly be, man. Make today the best that you can possibly make it. Because you know why? Today is all you have. You don't have tomorrow. Yesterday no longer exists. All right? So listen to what I'm saying, man. Like, really just try to digest what I'm saying, man. And if you know a person who's really antsy or going through it right now, share this video with them, man. Give them encouragement. Let them know that it's going to get better. It's going to improve. But most importantly, quit worrying about yesterday and quit worrying about tomorrow, man. Focus on today. I don't even want you to worry about today, but if you're going to worry about something, worry about what's real. Yesterday, tomorrow, it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, it's fake. Don't worry and stress and lose hair and get stomach ulcers over stressing about something that hasn't happened. If you're going to worry about anything, if you're going to utilize, you know, all your brain cells and your heart feelings and all that stuff, put it on today. Because today is the only tangible thing that's real, man. All right? So that's all I got. This video was a lot longer than what I expected it to be, man. But be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel. It's your guy CJ, and I'm out. Peace.